Good morning, everybody. We are at the Lost Sea Adventure in Sweetwater, Tennessee. I used to live out here a long time ago, but I never came out here for whatever reason. My family came out here a bunch, but I never did. Is that a petunia? Everything is closed. The story of today.
Business in Carolina, and we see that.
They got a glass shop in here. Oh, that night is pretty cool. Those were pretty nice. The blacksmith. And there's no blacksmith here. I thought that said, please do not bump elbows. That's pretty cool. You know, this was the first place I ever saw Adam the Woo. It is busy today. I don't know where all these crowds came from. It's a Wednesday at noon. Look at this, Wednesday, noon. It's like a submarine.
Hanging down from the sea right here is called the Cherokee Council Chamber. This cave was discovered by the Cherokee that lived in this area. The Native Americans found it. And in 1820, this cave was owned by a Cherokee chief. His name was Craighead. Chief Craighead acquired this cave and a lot of property in this area through either the Hiawassee or the Ocoee land grant. It's been told at one time that Craighead liked to bring his people down here into the cave. They used to come up in this area right here and they used to hold what they call council meetings. Now in 1927, there's a group of teenage boys down here in the cave doing some exploring one day. They came up in this area and they found a lot of artifacts left behind by the Cherokee. What they found up here was pottery, jewelry, and a lot of arrowheads and things. Some of the things those boys discovered in our display case up in the lobby. So check that out.
Confederate graffiti.
Back there in 1901.
58 degrees year round, constant 58. A lot of the
It feels so cool down here. It is very nice. There's some initials.
Alright, folks, this room that we're inside right now is called Craighead Rock Caverns. Look at the ceiling, you'll see all these dark pointed rocks. They almost look like stalactites. This is all limestone. This is all created out of water that was inside it. Way too rugged, way too steep. Now, the big room has a lot of history. At the very far end of that room is where the 90-foot pit's located, and that's where the jaguar bones were discovered in 1940. The jaguar, like I said, wandered around down here in the cave, accidentally fell in the pit where it was killed, and those bones were sent to the Museum of Natural History in New York City. Still, don't be afraid of it, and here we go. Pretty dark. And I'm gonna shine the light on the ceiling right here, just to give you an idea of a torch. This is what your Indians and soldiers had. That'd be a tough way to work and explore down here in the cave. Now, you come down on the wall tour, you'll crawl through undeveloped areas like this right here. This is what we call a black cat. That's right there at the bottom of the board. That's one of the places where they can crawl around inside. So if anybody's interested, get 12 people together, go to our website, get all the information. Make sure you bring you a really good light, because you're going to need it. Because if you get down here and your batteries go dead, you know what's going to happen. You're going to be in the dark. So everybody be sure to check into our wild tours. If you're interested, come over here and spend the night with us, and we'll take you crawling around. Folks, while we're in this place, got a lot of caves to look at. And we're probably...
That's all the supplies from the government. And they were going to use this as a fallout shelter. And you want to watch where you're walking. They used to have parties down here back in Prohibition. It was like a little nightclub.
Foot deep is lit up to give you an idea of what some of these places look like. And they say if you've been bad, you look down inside this hole, you could possibly see the devil. Look here and check it out. Right over here beside the trail. And you look at that hole right there, you might see your mother-in-law, you might see your third grade teacher. So check it out. If you hesitate, look down, I'll do that one out. It doesn't come over here next to that metal handrail, folks, but it's a downhill run from here to the trail.
Everyone's standing in line to see if they can see the devil.
Like they go down the hill, stay with the metal handrails, got the wooden railing, will let you down when you need the most. Like that girlfriend. Spinning around. Now, a lot of people like that hole, it goes down about the size of the softball. Not very big. Coming down the hill, be careful, stay close to the metal handrail.
down, 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 down.
Trail, because there's a good possibility that they may need another group. That way we can find each other fairly easy to make it run over. All right, we're over, Robbie. And we're gonna stop there and take a break. Now, I need you guys to sit 4.5 acres. This room that you're inside right now, over 800 feet long, 220 feet wide. One of the largest accessible rooms to our cave. Now, this lake has had quite a bit of exploration. Back in the 1970s, between 1974 and 75, we had some of the best cave divers in the world down here exploring our lake. They got permission from the board of directors of the Lost Sea. The board of directors, they were interested in learning more about the lake and trying to figure out where it went to. So these guys got permission and started making some dives down here. Now this lake is expansive. It goes beyond what you see. Beyond these walls, there's other rooms and chambers. These divers explored these places in the 70s. They went back inside some of these rooms as far as 800 feet before running out of lifeline. Some of these areas they explored, the water depth exceeded 100 feet or more. Very dangerous exploring. These rooms are very unstable. Their air bubbles would loosen up rocks and things from the ceiling. They call that percolation. They had rocks fall anywhere from the size of footballs up to Volkswagens. And eventually it got to the point where the divers feared of being trapped back inside one of these areas. Now these dives were discontinued and nobody has been back inside those areas since that time. The lake has never been fully explored. While the divers are down here, they mapped out over 13.5 acres of water. That's what they mapped and explored back in the early 70s. Now they've talked about underwater drones and things like that, but at this time, nobody has done any further exploration. These rainbow trout are river fish. They can't reproduce in a lake. So every so often we have to restock our lake. Now these fish can live down here to be 5-6 years old, and they've been known to get over 16 pounds, over 30 inches long. And they get fed every boat trip because there's nothing down here in the lake for these fish to eat. water gets too high. Away from the cave. It goes right under Highway 68 to be exact. Now folks, to give you an idea of where you're at, if we had an elevator right here at this very spot, you would pop up about a half a mile away from the parking lot. The visibility in the water when it's clear is only about 15 to 16 feet. A lot of sediment in the water. That's the reason the water's so blue. That's because of all the limestone in it. Calcium, magnesium, other hard. Use that handrail. Watch your steps. Stay to the right-hand side up here. If there's another group, go up there and wait on me on the beach area. I'll be with you shortly.
Water is so low. You don't usually see those rocks right there. You can see like the little silhouette right there. They fell in this cave 2,000 years ago. That's how dark it is. This is actually pretty cool. I'm glad I did this. Happy Earth Day. Now we start our hike back up. Up, up, up. My favorite. Uphill, both ways. This is pretty rigorous. There are more rooms back there. This place hasn't been fully explored.
Anyway, these stairs is what's left of his original trail, and he actually had lights down here in the cave. He had it illuminated.
Pretty sure I just saw a bat. Oh, it feels good to be out. Yeah, that was fun. I'm glad I did that. That was a hike out, though. There's just be like a little trail out here. Looks like a little picnic area. An old picnic area. I don't think they utilize that anymore. It's actually kind of cool how it's all still there and remnants of like a long time ago. Like the first time it was open to the public was in the 20s before it went belly up by a bootlegger. And you could see the stairs in there. I was gonna take you to the Mayfield Dairy to get some ice cream and show you what it's like. There it is, it's right there. It's right there. And guess what? Guess what? It is closed. It is closed only today. What do you know? Well, I will persist. There's the cow. I will persist. I will get us a secret place where to get the best ice cream you ever had. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. This is called Gabby's Gourmet Ice Cream. Now, it's in a little gas station, but don't let that fool you. They make it homemade in a former Greyhound bus depot, and it is the best ice cream you will ever have. So it's right off I-75 in Athens, Tennessee. So check it out. Strawberry on top, peanut butter on the bottom. Well, I'm back on the trail. That was fun. That was fun. I would absolutely recommend anyone do that if you're near Sweetwater. That was pretty cool. The cave, going through the cave itself was actually better than the boat ride, but the boat ride was nice. I always like a ride. When I first got there, I saw that it was just crowded with people, and I was like, no. Then I saw a whole bunch of little kids that would be going down in the cave with me, and I was like, no. But, you know, I got a really good guide. That guy, he said he'd been there since it, but he said he was in one of the first, he was driving the first fiberglass boats. So that was cool. It was really cool. I'm glad I did it. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. You see that rabbit? That is an old big rabbit. He lives over there in the woods. So he's basically my neighbor. Saved a rabbit one time. My cat grabbed it as a baby. And it was, I came out and I heard screaming. That's the culprit right there. That's the culprit, that's the killer. And I had to pull it away from her. And so I kind of like, for a day I nursed it back to health. And because the vets won't take wild rabbits and no one will take them. And she thought she was really doing something. So I ended up releasing it. And I like to think it pretty much survived. I don't think she did horrible damage to it.